It's impossible to scroll through YouTube or TikTok these days without seeing it. Someone, usually standing in front of a rented Lamborghini, is telling you about a secret AI tool that makes them thousands of dollars a day while they sleep. They promise easy passive income. They promise a life of freedom. Just click a few buttons, they say, and the money starts rolling in. It's a compelling story that taps into our desire for a better, less stressful life. So I decided to put it to the test. For the past month, I've been on a mission. I wanted to cut through the hype and see if these AI money-making tools actually work for a regular person. My goal was simple. Try 3 popular AI tools that promise income online and document the results with complete honesty. No fluff, no exaggerated claims. Just a straightforward experiment to find out what's real and what's clever marketing. I set aside a small budget and a decent amount of time to dive into AI-powered side hustles. The allure is undeniable. Leveraging AI to automate hard parts of building a business feels like the ultimate productivity hack. Imagine an AI that could write perfect blog posts, create stunning art, manage complex client projects for you. It sounds like a dream, but if something sounds too good to be true, it often is. I went in skeptical, but curious. If one tool delivered even a fraction of its promise, it could be a game changer. Let's get into what actually happened. The results were, as the clickbait says, quite shocking. Can technology replace creative effort and strategic thinking, or is it just a supplement? I wanted to find the line between AI fantasy and reality. I was ready to embrace failure, learn, and share genuine insights with you. Choosing the right tools for this experiment was the first challenge. The internet is flooded with options, each one claiming to be the key to unlocking a fire hose of cash. I wanted to pick tools that represented the most common AI money-making categories you see advertised online. My criteria were simple: popular, heavily promoted as a path to passive income, accessible to someone without a PhD in computer science. I scrolled through top 10 AI side hustles lists, watched countless YouTube tutorials, and identified 3 distinct archetypes promising fast and easy results for beginners. The first category I focused on was content creation, specifically automated blogging. I chose a tool called Autoblog Pro. Enter a few keywords and the AI would generate SEO-friendly articles. Those articles could be published on a blog, then monetized with ads or affiliate links. Content is king, but time-consuming. Automating it sounded like the holy grail. Next, I ventured into the world of digital art. AI image generators exploded in popularity. Gurus promise fortunes selling AI art on Etsy. I picked PixelSynth AI and a custom digital portrait strategy. Take customer requests, generate art in seconds, sell as a digital product. Finally, enhancing a service. TaskFlow AI, an AI personal assistant/project manager. Not creating products, but boosting productivity to take more clients. I used it to manage freelance video editing projects. A grounded application, augmenting skills to earn more. This journey wasn't just about money, it was about understanding AI's practical role for creators and entrepreneurs. My first experiment began with high hopes, Autoblog Pro. The setup was surprisingly straightforward. I bought a domain name, mindfulgardeningtips.com, and set up a basic WordPress site. I fed the AI tool a list of keywords like beginner-friendly indoor plants, how to water succulents, organic pest control for vegetables. Within minutes, the AI started churning out articles. It was incredible to watch. It produced 10 full-length, 1,500-word articles complete with headings and lists. I spent a day uploading these articles, adding some stock photos, and setting up Google AdSense on the site. The dream was simple. The AI would keep creating content, Google would rank it, people would visit the site, they would click on ads, and I would make money while I slept. For the first week, I checked my analytics obsessively. The visitor count remained stubbornly at 0. It stayed at 0 the second week, and again the third week. The articles were grammatically correct and filled with information, but they were completely soulless. They lacked personality, unique insight, or personal experience. The problem became clear very quickly. The AI was simply rehashing information available on thousands of other websites. It was generic. It read like a textbook, not like a blog post written by a passionate gardener. Google's algorithms are smart. They prioritize content that is helpful, original, and demonstrates expertise and experience. Things this AI-generated content completely lacked. It was a content farm, but a farm with no visitors. After a month, the blog had earned a grand total of $0. Feeling a bit humbled by my blogging failure, I turned to my next experiment, selling AI-generated art with Pixel Synth AI. The idea was to open an Etsy shop selling custom pet portraits. The workflow seemed brilliant in my head. A customer would send me a photo of their dog or cat, I'd upload it to the AI, add a prompt like whimsical watercolor style, and the tool would generate a beautiful piece of art. I could then deliver the digital file to the customer for a nice profit. It seemed like a low-effort, high-reward business model. The first issue I encountered was quality control. For every one amazing image the AI produced, it generated 4 or 5 duds. Sometimes the eyes would be weirdly distorted, or a leg would be missing, or the art style would just look cheap and generic. It took a lot more time and effort than I expected to curate and slightly edit the images to make them presentable. It wasn't the one-click solution I had been sold on. The bigger problem, however, was the market itself. When I searched for custom pet portraits on Etsy, I discovered I was not a lone genius. There were thousands upon thousands of other shops doing the exact same thing. The marketplace was completely saturated. Many of these other sellers were using the same AI tools, resulting in a sea of art that looked remarkably similar. To stand out, sellers were engaged in a race to the bottom on price. Some were selling custom portraits for as little as $5, a price point that, after Etsy's fees, made the whole endeavor feel pointless. After 3 weeks of my shop being live, I had made a total of 0 sales. I received a few favorites on my listings, but no one pulled the trigger and made a purchase. My beautifully crafted examples were lost in a vast ocean of similar AI-generated products. The lesson here was a classic one in business. It's not enough to have a product. You need a way to stand out. You need a unique selling proposition, a strong brand, and a marketing strategy. The AI tool was capable of creating the product, but it couldn't solve the much harder business problems of differentiation and customer acquisition. After 2 consecutive failures, my skepticism was at an all-time high. I turned to my final tool, TaskFlow AI, with very low expectations. This tool wasn't about creating a product to sell, but about making me more efficient at a service I already offered: freelance video editing. The promise was that its AI could analyze raw footage, suggest the best takes, generate automatic transcripts for subtitles, create rough cuts of a video based on a script. Instead of automating the entire job, it automated the most tedious parts, acting as a superpowered assistant. I decided to use it on a project for a new client, a talking head-style YouTube video. Normally, this process involves me manually watching all the raw footage, often an hour or more for a 10-minute video, to find the best takes, transcribing the audio for captions, painstakingly assembling the first draft. With TaskFlow AI, the process was completely different. I uploaded the footage and the script. Within about 20 minutes, the AI had produced a full transcript. It identified all the yums, as, and long pauses. It synced the best takes to the script, creating a paper edit I could work from. This was an absolute game changer. The AI handled about 80% of the grunt work that usually takes me hours. It didn't replace my creative judgment. I still had to fine-tune the pacing, add B-roll, select music, color grade the final video, but it freed me from the boring parts and let me focus on creative elements that add value for the client. The project, which would normally take a full day, around 8 hours, was completed in just 3 hours. I delivered ahead of schedule and the client was thrilled. This is where the money came in. The project fee was $500. Normally, at 8 hours, my rate is $62.50 per hour. By finishing in 3 hours, my effective rate shot up to over $166 per hour. The AI tool cost $30 a month, which paid for itself many times over with just this project. This was the success I was looking for. It wasn't passive income, I still worked, but it was a massive lever on my active income, which felt just as good, if not better. My 1-month experiment with AI money-making tools led me to a conclusion that is both simple and profound. The fantasy of a magical tool that prints money with a few clicks is just that, a fantasy. The tools that promise to do all the work for you, like the automated blogger, the AI art generator, often fail because they skip the most important ingredients for success: strategy, value, human connection. They can create a blog post, but they can't build a community. They can generate a piece of art, but they can't create a brand or navigate a saturated market. They produce commodities, and commodities are a tough business to be in. The real power of AI, at least right now, isn't in replacing us. It's in augmenting us. The success I found with TaskFlow AI wasn't because the tool did the job for me. It amplified a skill I already had: video editing. It acted as a force multiplier for my existing expertise. The AI handled repetitive, low-value tasks, which freed up my time and mental energy to focus on the high-value, creative work that clients are actually paying for. This is a crucial distinction that the get-rich-quick gurus conveniently ignore. So my advice, stop looking for a tool to do the work for you. Instead, look for a tool that helps you do your work better. Think about the skills you already have or the industry you already understand. Where are the bottlenecks? What are the most tedious parts of your workflow? Find an AI tool that can help you solve that specific problem. Use AI as a lever to increase your output, improve your quality, and boost your efficiency. That is the most reliable path to increasing your income with this incredible new technology. Ultimately, execution is everything. A brilliant strategy with a mediocre tool is far more likely to succeed than a non-existent strategy with a state-of-the-art tool. Don't fall for the hype. Focus on building real skills, providing genuine value, and using AI as a powerful assistant, not as a shortcut. This is just the beginning of my journey into testing these tools, and I'll be sharing more of my honest findings. If you want to follow along and see more real-world experiments without the fluff, make sure to subscribe. The world of AI is moving fast, and together we can figure out how to use it wisely.